Thanks everyone for coming to my talk titled AI in Retinal Fundus Imaging. I'm Niranjana Manivannan. I am a senior staff scientist in the Advanced Technology and Concept Development Group in Zeiss Meditech. I mainly work on developing clinical decision support features and then products for our Zeiss Meditech. AI can be used for multiple different things. First thing I wanted to talk about is how AI can help expand the clinical perspective of the clinicians. When we talk about the future of the retinal imaging, imaging a wide field of view, or in fact, ultra wide field of view, is really important. In fact, Claris line of products does cover a very large retinal field of view through the use of montages. Traditionally, in the older cameras, when the montage is done, the quality of the montage is very dependent on how well the subject is fixating on the fixations. If the patient is not a good fixator, we will end up having a montage which will have vessel breaks or not a good quality. What we are doing in Claris is Claris has a deep learning AI algorithm in the background which runs through all the images and then it finds where the optic nerve head is. By tracking the optic nerve head, we know exactly how the patient is moving between one image to another image. By knowing exactly where the patient is looking, we would be able to montage these images. By using this technology, we are creating the anatomy aware montage. The montage images which you are seeing on the screen, both the color and then the angiography montages are created with the help of the deep learning algorithm. An AI can also be used to extend the reach of the clinicians. Zeiss Vishu Health is a CE marked telehealth solution for automated diabetic retinopathy screening. It's been deployed in India since 2015. Through 2019 June, we have screened about more than 196,000 patients, and more than 27,000 of these patients were screened using the automated DR capability. As a result, more than 38,000 cases with pathologies has been detected. So this is just a screening solution which is made for countries like India where the doctors does not have direct access to the patients. So these Vishu Health can be deployed in the screening center through which we can exactly identify which subjects or patients need to be referred so that they could come and get the treatment needed from the ophthalmologist or the retina specialist. AI can help the clinicians in aiding the decision support process. What we saw in the last slide is more of a DR screening process. What I'm talking about now here is more DR severity detection. The main bottleneck in developing good performing diabetic retinopathy detection algorithm in wide field and ultra wide field images is just the lack of data. Ultra wide field and wide field images are very new technology. To develop these kind of algorithms, you usually need more than 100,000 data. When the technology is really new, the data available to develop these algorithms is pretty less. So what we are doing for Claris is we are actually using the data which is collected using a traditional narrow field fundus images. We are using that as a first step and we are transfer training from that point to work with wide field fundus images. By using this transfer training, we can leverage the traditional database and then use that to create algorithms for Claris, which has a completely different field of view. This is a proof of concept which was already published in Imaging and the Eye 2020. in which we use about 361 Claris images. And for transfer training part, we use 32,000 traditional fundus images from VisuScout. By using both of this together, the algorithm we developed using deep learning ResNet is giving us an accuracy of 92%. And then we are also reaching a sensitivity of about 88% and specificity of 93%. If we train an algorithm just by using wide field fundus images, you could see that the accuracy would only be 58%. But when we use our this transfer training technology of using the narrow field images first and then using wide field, we were able to achieve an accuracy of 92%. Artificial intelligence can also be used to aid the research. Geographic atrophy is an area of interest for a lot of pharmaceutical companies, and then also area of interest in academia. Most of the groups are working to find a drug which can treat geographic atrophy and also to figure out a treatment pathway for dry AMD. When we are developing these new technologies to address geographic atrophy, it's very important to accurately trace and measure the atrophy areas. So what we are doing here is to provide an algorithm to accurately trace and measure the geographic atrophy area. Like in all the deep learning algorithms, what is difficult here is getting the annotated data. So what we did is we did a two-step development process. First, we developed a semi-automatic tool. What this tool does is when a clinician clicks on an area, it automatically populates to atrophy area around it. So this helps in faster annotation. Using this semi-automatic tool, we got our clinicians to annotate 79 fundus autofluorescence green images, which was acquired from Claris from 62 patients. And using these images and annotations, we used a state-of-the-art UNet, which is known to give good results for segmentation. By using the UNet segmentation framework, we got an automated segmentation algorithm, which gives results which is very comparable to the expert markings. What you're seeing on the screen, the top part is the expert marking. The bottom of the panel contains the results from automatic segmentation. You could see that by qualitatively, these results match the results from the automatic segmentation is very similar to the expert marking. When we look into quantitative results, we got about an overlap ratio of 92.76% plus or minus 5.62%. There is a fractional area difference of about 4.4%. Pearson's coefficient for this algorithm is about 0.995, which is the state of the art for geographic atrophy segmentation. Thank you everyone for attending this talk.